Millie Wilson, a young English teacher, lands a new job at an elementary school and decides to move to the countryside with her longtime boyfriend, Tim Brassington. He is an aspiring musician still struggling with grief after losing both of his parents. Just before their move, Millie gathers their friends for a going-away party and surprises Tim by proposing to him. But when he hesitates instead of answering, she is left embarrassed in front of everyone. After they settle into their new rural home, the couple goes on a hike and accidentally falls into an underground cave during a heavy rainstorm. Trapped and soaked, they decide to camp inside for the night. Tim drinks from a strange pool of water while Millie refuses. Later, he is haunted by a memory of the night he found his mother lying beside his father's decomposing body. When morning comes, they wake to find their legs partially fused together. They manage to pull apart and convince themselves it must have been some weird coincidence. Over the following days, Tim begins to experience strange episodes where he feels a physical force drawing him toward Millie. The sensation is painful and confusing. He visits a doctor, who dismisses his symptoms as panic attacks and prescribes muscle relaxants. The doctor casually mentions that a local couple named Simon and Carrie recently went missing. Millie's friendly co-worker Jamie McCabe drops by to welcome them to the neighborhood. During dinner, they tell him about the cave. Jamie explains that it used to be a New Age church before it collapsed years ago. Later, Millie drives Tim to the train station for a music gig, but he suffers another episode and ends up dragging himself to Millie's workplace. Furious and embarrassed, she confronts him in a bathroom stall. The confrontation turns into an impulsive moment of passion, but afterwards they realize their bodies have literally become stuck together. After painfully separating, they are seen by Jamie, who looks on in shock. Later, Millie visits Jamie's house to apologize. He offers her a glass of water, which she drinks. As they talk, she opens up about the growing problems in her relationship. Jamie begins talking about Aristophanes' ancient theory that love is the search for one's missing other half. He reminisces about his late husband, but Millie suddenly spots a disoriented Tim wandering outside and leaves in a hurry. Tim, now suspicious, looks through their social media photos and notices that Simon and Carrie had visited the same cave before disappearing. He finds matching symbols in their pictures and tries to warn Millie that they might suffer the same fate, but she refuses to believe him. That night, the strange force between them becomes uncontrollable. Their bodies twist and contort until their arms fuse together. In a panic, they take the muscle relaxants to stop the process and eventually pass out. When Tim wakes up, he finds himself tied to a chair while Millie tries to saw through their fused limb. They decide to go to the hospital, but Millie realizes she left the car keys at Jamie's house. Tim heads back to the cave and discovers the horrifying remains of Simon and Carrie fused into one grotesque body, with Simon's half stabbed through the neck. Meanwhile, Millie arrives at Jamie's home and finds a television playing a wedding video of two men she does not recognize. The footage cuts to a disturbing ritual where the men fuse into one being. Jamie appears and reveals the truth. He is the result of that fusion. He tells her that after becoming whole, they finally felt complete, and urges her to finish the process with Tim. When she refuses, he cuts her arm in the same way the men in the video were marked. Millie manages to escape. Outside, she finds Tim waiting in their driveway. He explains that the creature he saw in the cave was the result of a failed fusion, one where one person resisted the process. He fears becoming like that and prepares to end his own life to protect her. As he does, Millie begins bleeding heavily from her wound. Desperate to save her, Tim presses his arm against hers, and they fuse together again. Accepting their fate, the two share a final slow dance to the song "Two Become One." As they whisper words of love, their bodies merge completely. Days later, Millie's parents arrive for a visit. At the door, they are greeted by a single androgynous figure who smiles warmly. It is the fused Millie and Tim, now one person, calm and seemingly at peace.